You're listening to the Healthy in Real Life podcast, episode number 184. Hey friends, welcome back to the show. This is Gina, creator of the Fitnessista blog and brand. I'm so excited that you're here today. Thank you so much for tuning in and so excited for today's episode. Before we head into it, I wanted to tell you guys about IHP. So I have been an integrative health practitioner for a few years now. It has completely changed my life. It's changed my business. It's given me the ability to help clients in an entirely different way, and I can't recommend it enough. So the courses are led by Dr. Stephen Cabral. You might be familiar with his podcast, The Cabral Concept. So he's my mentor. So we're able to learn so much from him and all of the amazing IHP stuff. But basically, when you sign up, you can choose between level 1, level 2, or both. I highly recommend doing both. So level 1 goes over his de-stress protocol. So it's a framework that just combines ancient healing practices and modern science. And it was introduced in his book, The Rain Barrel Effect. So you'll learn how to look at diet, exercise, stress management, toxin removal, rest, emotional balance, supplementation, sleep. And then in IHP level 2 is when you actually learn how to run functional labs. So it focuses on 7 key at-home labs that clients can run from anywhere. You can also do them on yourself and with your family members. And it has been such an amazing experience. So it combines the best of the best. So Ayurvedic medicine, bioregulatory medicine, herbalism, traditional naturopathy, Eastern philosophy, orthomolecular medicine, and functional medicine. And if you like to nerd out on all the things, or you're passionate about health and wellness, you don't have to currently be working as a health coach or personal trainer or chiropractor or someone in the wellness space to do this. So many people come over from totally different careers, and maybe that's something that they just want to do for fun and learn more about, or they want to completely change their careers. The health industry, health coaching, is a $7 billion industry. There's usually about 1.5 million web searches for life and health coaches each month, and it's just going to continue to grow over time. So I can't recommend it enough. Please let me know if I can help with any questions. Reach out to me. But in the meantime, if you head to integrativehealthpractitioner.org, enter the code Fitnessista, that's going to get you up to $250 off level 1 and 2. So like I said, please reach out if I can help with any questions, but I cannot speak more highly about this process. It's been so amazing. So head to integrativehealthpractitioner.org, enter the code Fitnessista, and I'm so excited for you to change your life, for you to change your career, and for you to be able to learn from all of these amazing modules. All right, friends, let's head into today's episode.
Welcome to the Healthy in Real Life podcast, bite-sized tips for healthy living that you can implement right now. Join us weekly for interviews and real-life advice for creating the happiest and healthiest version of yourself. Here's your host, fitness expert, author, and mom of 2, Gina Harney.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm hopping in today with another solo episode, and I wanted to chat a little bit about morning routines. So I am one of those people, I love hearing about morning routines, especially when successful entrepreneurs are interviewed or people that I admire. I just love to hear how they structure their days, because it can really impact your entire day. So it can impact your mood, your energy, your productivity, and I think it's pretty cool just to kind of get a sneak peek into people's lives and just hear what they do. So I wanted to share mine today. I also wanted to share some of the things I used to do that I don't do anymore. So back in the day, I used to wake up, well, these were probably the Valdosta days when we first moved to Valdosta. I worked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. most days. I worked in retail management. It was very grueling, but my only chance to work out was before that. So I would usually wake up around 4:30. I would be at the gym by 5, work out from 5 until 6, take a shower, and then head into work. And I lived in this rat race for a couple of years. It was completely crazy. I didn't take any time for myself. And then from there, once I transitioned more into personal training and group fitness, I would wake up really early and I would do a workout, a really hard workout, and then I would train clients. And then once we moved back to Tucson and we were pregnant, my routine completely changed. That's when I switched over to content creation full time. And I still liked to wake up and go really hard in the morning. So that was the first thing I did. I did it on an empty stomach most times. I did not eat anything. I was training really hard. I also had a point in time where I was working at a health and wellness resort here. So I was teaching at least 15 active classes a week. It was a lot on my body, and I just didn't take time for that morning routine. So once I started to hear more about having a structured morning routine, I really felt inspired, and I've changed a lot of things over time. So I went from early morning workouts when it was still dark outside, either heading to Orange Theory and the bright fluorescent lights were in my face, or heading to the gym, super bright in there, no food, no fuel, and just kind of catapulting into my day. So I would just take a handful of supplements that I did not test to know what I need. There are things that I just saw online that I thought were going to help me, and just going from there. So things are much different now. And as much as I would love to say I'm the type of person who has a really structured routine, it's not that it's structured by time, but it's structured by habits. And I like to just stack them at some point during the day. So the mornings are still crazy. There's still a lot going on, but there are a few boxes that I like to check each day. So the first one is I like to wake up. I try to avoid scrolling on my phone first thing in the morning. I feel like that always just sets me off on a bad note. I think that it encourages comparison. So I'm scrolling and comparing myself to other people. And I think that instant like dopamine hit, that instant gratification, I think it messes with your productivity for the rest of the day. So I try to avoid doing that when I can. Also checking emails, same thing, because usually if I check emails first thing in the morning, I can't do anything about them until a couple of hours later anyway, once I have the morning figured out, usually kids or a child dropped off to school. So I can't do anything. So they're just extra tasks hanging over my head. So try to avoid the phone. I open all of the curtains, all of the blinds, try to get sun into the house first thing. I think that makes a huge difference for circadian rhythm, for your energy for the entire day. I'll let Maisie out, and then I'll usually stand outside, usually try to be barefoot in the grass while she goes out to do her business, and just enjoy a little bit of sunlight in my eyes, on my skin, to tell me that it's daytime. So I'll do that first, come inside, have a nice big glass of water. Sometimes I'll add in some sea salt and lemon, or I'll add in trace mineral drops. That's a really great way to start. And then I'll make breakfast. So my breakfast pretty much every single day is daily nutritional support from Equilife and Truvani mixed together. And I have it like a protein pudding, and I'll put berries, hemp seeds, or nut butter on top. And it's super delicious. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and I know that I'm getting in a lot of really great nutrition, and it also has 30 grams of protein. So that's kind of my just autopilot breakfast every day, and then we'll figure out the morning. So now that we're homeschooling, it's kind of a newer thing for us. P and I will she'll have breakfast at the same time. So we'll have breakfast together after we drop Liv off, and then we'll take Maisie for a walk. So we take our dog for a nice walk outside. We try to go early because it's starting to get pretty hot here. And then we'll come back. I'll make some coffee, and we'll head into her homeschool work for the day. And in between each subject, I try to give her breaks for at least 10 to 15 minutes so that she can just kind of reset, do what she needs to do. And that might be some time where I just stack in other things for myself. So some of the things I like to do every morning is definitely the hydration and the walk. So we checked those boxes. I love to sit on my PEMF Go mat. You can kind of see it in the back corner there on the floor. So I will sit on my PEMF mat, and I'll use my red light at the same time, and I'll listen to binaural beats at the same time. So I'm doing 3 habits at once. So just trying to multitask a little bit. I love binaural beats. There are a ton on Spotify that you can listen to. And the PEMF mat is really nice because you can adjust the settings depending on how you want to feel. So lower is correlated with, I would think, more like low energy type activities. So just really calming and relaxing. Or if you want energy, you'll just increase the setting a little bit. So I like 1 or 2 before bed in the evening. And then during the day, I'll do 3 or 4, depending on if I'm just starting the day or if I feel like I need a little energy boost. So do the PEMF mat, red light, binaural beats, have a nice breakfast. I have my decaf coffee, the walk, and then I feel like I'm set for the day. Something else that I do like to do that I haven't made as much time for is journaling and praying, meditation. Well, the meditation's on the mat, but the praying and the journaling, I have a devotional that I like to do. I haven't done it a lot lately. I've kind of been slacking with that. And then as far as the journaling goes, I try to do this at some point during the day. So it used to be part of my morning routine. Now it tends to be more in the evening. And that is just taking time to write down things that I'm grateful for. So I'll list 5 to 10 things, and they can be really small. They can be things like Maisie. Well, Maisie is not small. She's really important. Almond butter, our comfy bed, the great Mexican food we had last night. So anything that's just bringing you joy, making you happy. So I try to have that gratitude mindset even when things feel like they're really crazy. So writing down some things that I'm thankful for. I also write down things that I want to happen as if they've already happened. So I think that's really powerful. So I will just say, like, I'm trying to think of a big one. Thank you for the amazing summer trip to Italy. And we haven't done that yet, but it's something that I would like to happen one day. So I would just write down things that I'm manifesting. Thank you so much for 2 million podcast downloads. Thank you so much for 5 new one-on-one clients I'm able to help this month. So things like that you want to happen, just write about it as if it has already happened. So those are the ones that I think make such a big difference in the day as far as how I feel, how I approach things. I think that having that gratitude mindset affects your interactions for the entire day. So even if someone's nasty to me online, it's easier to brush it off because I just was thinking about things that are more important, obviously making a bigger difference in my personal life than something small like that. So I hope that this is helpful for you guys just to get some new ideas. There are some really interesting books about morning routines. There's one called The Miracle Morning, and I read it and I felt so inspired. I was going to be a morning person, and that lasted for about 2 weeks. So it's really about just finding the ones that resonate for you. A book that I really love about just mindset and habits is Atomic Habits. I think that that's a really great one. I'm trying to think of a name of one that I read recently, but it was more just about mindset and gratitude, and also kind of dove into a little bit of the quantum physics type stuff, which I'm fascinated with. It's called You Can Heal Your Life, and that's by Louise Hay. And I can just tell it's going to be one of those books I just listen to on repeat. Another one more that taps into the power of wealth mindset and manifestation is called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I also really enjoyed that one. So just doing some digging, finding people that inspire you and seeing how they structure their days and how they are more productive. This is interesting too, but something else that you can do to hack your routine and your productivity is using AI. So using ChatGPT, and you can go in there and say, hey, I'm a mom of 2 kids. Their ages are blah and blah, and this is what our daily routine looks like. I work as a whatever you do. I'm trying to become more productive and focused throughout the day. Here's kind of what my day looks like right now. How should I restructure this to maximize my energy and productivity? And you might be really surprised with what it comes back with. It can give you some ideas just for some low-hanging fruits, some easy hacks that you can make. You can always ask it to refine things too. So I mean, if it's going to take over the world, we might as well just use it for some tips in the meantime. Just kidding, halfway, only kidding. So yeah, I just think that those things can make such a big difference just in how we feel, how we approach our day, and just not getting overwhelmed because, of course, we see the people online who are making like cereal from scratch every day and out there with their chickens and meditating for hours and then cold plunge and then sauna and all of these great habits, but not realistic for most people. So just try not to let that intimidate you as much as you can, and maybe just take pieces of it that you think would work for you. So habit stacking, like I mentioned, like I like to do, even just using like a cue throughout your day. So you know you're going to take your dog for a walk every day. Use it as a chance to drink a bottle of water while you're out on your walk, and just remembering consistency over time. It's not always about doing more. It's about what will actually move the needle and that you'll be able to stick with for the long haul. And you can still completely tackle your day, make the most out of it with a 5-minute morning routine if it helps you to feel good and set the tone. So don't let anyone else make you feel like you're failing. It's not all or nothing, and just stick with it over the long haul. So I'm here if I can help any way. I'd love to hear any takeaways that you had from this episode or anything that you're doing in your own routine that you think has made a huge difference for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Healthy in Real Life podcast. For more info, check out Gina's blog at fitnessista.com.